everyone. One of the most important things in chess is the ability to spot tactics. And not just one move tactics, but also the ability to think ahead and look for moves which might not be obvious at first. So we're going to look at a game which I played, and then we're going to look at a very fun tactic which happened in the game by one of my students. So first, this is a game I played yesterday. I played against someone rated a little bit over 2,000. The time control was 5 minutes, which again means this game is not going to be perfect. The opening is simple: knight 3 d5, controlling the center, d4, knight f6, nothing special, g3, white wants to put the bishop here, and eventually challenge the center with c4, bishop f5, I developed, bishop g2, e6, to get the other bishop into the game, castle, pawn h6. The point of pawn h6 is now, if he ever attacks my bishop, he can drop back here, and he remains a pretty good bishop. Which is what happened. It's a somewhat strange move because his knight doesn't make too much sense on h4. Obviously, I dropped back. He developed the knight. He wants to play c4, maybe at some point e4. I solidified the center with c6. c4 was played. Bishop d6, developing my bishop. And he attacked this pawn. I chose to play b6. I didn't want to play queen c7 because I thought after, let's say, c5 and then eventual bishop f4, it's not going to be very comfortable for my queen. And I don't want to play here because my knight needs to play. I could play queen c8, I guess. But I decided to play b6. He played rook e1 to prepare e4. I castled. He played e4. And after this massive trade, takes, white has a small issue. His bishop is gone, so his line squares a little bit weak. I develop my knight. Maybe I'll play c5, maybe e5. He brought his knight back, knight f3, knight f6, attacking the rook. The rook dropped back, and now c5. My opponent has a center, so I need to challenge that center. And he plays bishop e3. It's a good move. It develops the bishop. He now wants to give me an isolated pawn. If he takes, I take with a pawn. This pawn is not very good. If I take with the bishop, he trades, and once again, I have an isolated pawn. Also, his rook can now play chess. I played queen c7, providing more support to this pawn. And also now, my rooks can play chess. He plays rook d1, makes sense. Rook c8. In a dream world, I might be able to take and then take here. He sets me a trap. Now if I take, he'll take with the bishop. And then let's say I take. After the trade, he has a discovery. He can take my knight, attack this bishop, and this bishop will fall. So again, after this trade and me taking, he can't do this right away because his queen will be attacked. So after takes, he'll trade his queen, and then he has this move. Which is why I did not take. I provided more support for my bishop. And now he plays b3. He solidifies this pawn, but if you notice, his queen is a little bit short of squares. I played queen b7 because first I want to take advantage of of this diagonal, he slides squares away. And when he played the knight e5, I simply took, because that knight was covering the important f3 square. He took back, and I played knight here, knight e4. Of course, you know my threat. I will pause for a second to let you find it. And the threat is actually trapping the queen. I can take and then fork, but I can even play here immediately, because even after this trade takes, the queen has no squares. So he took me first. I took back. This is still a threat. So he stopped me. And now I'm going to pause again and let you find a winning move. And the move is actually really pretty. It's knight c3. And the logic is the queen is trapped. It cannot go anywhere. If it takes me, well, the square is controlled. So rook d1 is checkmate. And here he resigned. It's a very instructive game, especially from this point. Because if you look at this position, you wouldn't think this game should be over in about 5 moves. But because white has weak light squares, and because his queen is uniquely stuck on b5, this becomes possible. Attacking the knight, getting rid of the defender of the square, and then knight e4 threatening this, and then knight c3 anyway. This was a fun tactic. I have another fun tactic to show you, which happened in the game which my student played. What made it even more interesting is this was a 3-minute game. My student Charlie was playing and someone rated a little bit under 1600. And this was an interesting game. We'll pick it up at this point. Black is up a pawn, but he has yet to castle. Charlie played c5, which of course, this is obvious. White stopped it. And now Charlie found a really, really, really nice move. And the fact that he found it with this time control is very impressive. And again, this is why it's always important to look for tactics, look for forcing moves. And the beautiful move which Charlie found is knight g4, which looks crazy, but it's really cool. So A, this pawn cannot take because checkmate. B, this knight cannot take because free queen. C, this knight is triple attack. And so black just wins a piece. Knight g4 is an extremely good move. It's actually one of the cooler moves I have seen in quite some time. One of the ways to get better at chess is actually solving puzzles, both regular puzzles and puzzle rush. Because regular puzzles force you to slow down and look for best moves, and puzzle rush forces you to solve easy puzzles quickly, those 1-move puzzles, 2-move puzzles, which it would be really, really great to be able to solve in about 5 seconds, stuff like that. And this is one of the ways you can get better at chess. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the tactics. Please like, please subscribe, and more exciting material will appear shortly. Thank you.